Shall we start?
Yes, ma'am. Yes. Okay.
Okay. So, Samadhan, first of all, I would like to tell you that this is a mock interview that's going on. We are conducting that. So, as part of it, I would just like you to first explain everyone what you do basically, and which field you are going to opt for. What is your technology stack and the tools you have used. Apart from this, I would like to tell everyone that Samadhan is a fresher, so I'll be taking interview based on his level of experience and exposure. So, yeah, Samadhan, can you
So,
please go
so I
ahead and explain
so
something about
yes,
yourself?
ma'am. I wanted to tell you first of all, I have covered till Spring Boot. Okay, I have covered the Spring framework. Okay, from Spring framework, I have covered MUC, JDBC, then Core. So this kind of things I have done with practical knowledge. I have hands-on a Java, core Java. So I have
Okay.
covered the 21 chapters. So basically, so I'll start from my introduction basically. So my name is Samadhan Ratnagar Garde. I am from Marwad number 2, Taluka Indapur, district Pune. So, okay. So basically, I have hands-on experience hands-on on a core Java. So from core Java, I know the basic concept like abstraction, polymorphism, then inheritance is there, encapsulation. Okay. So from the framework, I have also hands-on on a exception handling, then collection also. So I am a topper of a collection basically, ma'am. So then JDBC is there. Then from the framework, ma'am, I have a hands-on like a Spring framework I have used, or I'm doing practical on that. Okay, now.
Okay.
Then from the Spring framework, I know the concept like Spring Boot is there, Spring MVC, Spring JDBC, okay, Spring Core. So this kind of models I have practice on that. Okay. Then from the database part, I have knowledge on JDBC is there, SQL is there, and MongoDB also I have prepared. Okay.
Okay.
Then from the RESTful, web services part. So I have knowledge on RESTful web services or web services. I have consumer as well as produces the web services. Okay, so this kind of, so that's all about my knowledge.
Okay. That's great. Good to hear that with such a low level of experience, you have so much of exposure. So
So
let's
also I have, yes ma'am, yes, I have also done Java 8 features. So this kind of things I have done.
which version of Java you are using?
Yes, 1.8 version.
Okay, okay, that's great. That's the latest one that is currently being used mostly in the industry. So, okay, fine. So, let's just start. I'll start with core Java first. So, since
Okay.
based on your experience, I would just like to ask you, what do you mean by various, OOPS concepts, and can you please explain them in detail?
Okay, yes, ma'am. Yes, yes. So basically, there are four main pillar of the OOPS. Okay, so polymorphism is there. Okay, so polymorphism means, ma'am, one thing of many form. Like we have a method overloading concept. Is one we can take the multiple or one and more methods inside your class with same name but different argument type, or order of argument is different here. Okay, so that is a main example of a polymorphism. Okay, so then next main or key feature of a object oriented is a inheritance. So inheritance means, ma'am, reuse the something that already exists. We are using the parent class. Okay, so parent class providing some common functionalities. Okay, and by extending that functionality, child class can use. So reusability is the main advantages of the inheritance concept. Then, ma'am, another thing is encapsulation. Encapsulation means, ma'am, wrapping the data members into a single unit. So that is called as a encapsulation. In our MUC, ma'am, we have used the POJO classes. Okay, and inside that POJO classes, we have provided some private variables. Okay, and the setter and getter. So that is the main example of a encapsulation. Okay, encapsulate the data. We have encapsulation. Then next is that we have abstraction. Abstraction means we are hiding the internal implementation, okay, and just highlight the set of services. Like suppose we are facing or we are seeing our ATM machine example. Okay, we will have some lots of their option. They will provide the balance inquiry. They will provide the withdraw option. So this kind of option they will provide. So means they will hiding the internal implementation or just highlighting the set of services to the end user or to the service provider or we can say the end user like that. So these are
Okay.
a concept with examples now. And
Yeah, yeah.
yes, abstraction we can achieve by using the abstract classes and interfaces in our Java.
Yeah, correct. So, okay, fine. So, suppose, for example, I have a particular, as you know that multiple classes you cannot inherit in Java because multiple inheritance is not supported. So, can you tell me why?
So basically, what will happen when we extend the two class functionalities into a single class? In that case, we will get an ambiguity problem basically. Suppose I have a class A, class B, and class C. Okay. So class A contains the same method, like a M1 method is there. Okay. And class B contains the same method, that is M1 also. Okay. And if I extend that functionalities into a C class, in that case, what will happen? So M1, M1. Okay, these two methods are available inside the C3, the C class. Okay, so and in that case, what will happen? Compiler does not allow the same signature method. Okay, compiler does not allow the same signature methods inside the particular third class. Okay, or any class. So that's
Yes.
why we will get in a problem. So that is ambiguity problem. So that's why we can't support or Java doesn't support any multiple inheritance features. Okay. Yes.
Okay. So, do you know the difference between string builder, and string buffer?
Yes. I know. So basically, so I'll first tell the when we should go for the string buffer, and string builder. Okay. So first, if our contents are fixed, ma'am. Okay, and these are not keep on changing. So in that case, we should go for the string. But in the case of string buffer, if our contents are frequently changed, okay, and if you want some thread safety, in that case, we can or we should go for the string buffer. And in the case of string builder, that is if our contents are frequently changed, but if you don't want any thread safety, in that case, we should go for the string builder map. Okay. So yes, so that is a difference basically. String is a mutable object. Immutable object. String buffer is a mutable object. String builder is also mutable object. Okay. String and string buffer has a thread shape. String builder is not thread shape basically. Okay.
Okay.
So this is a difference. And then again, one key difference is that for the string SCP memory mechanism will be there, but for the string buffer and builder, so SCP will be not there. Okay. So that is key differences.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, okay, fine. That's good. So, okay. Another question. Do you know that string is immutable in nature in Java?
Yes, ma'am, yes. String is immutable
So,
in
what is
nature.
the reason why do we have string as immutable?
Yes, ma'am. Come again, ma'am. So I'm
So,
not.
we have string as immutable in Java. String is immutable. That means you cannot update
Yes.
its
Up,
value,
uh,
right?
yes, yes, ma'am, yes.
So, do you know what is the reason behind string being immutable? Why string has been immutable in Java?
Yes, ma'am. So basically, what will happen for the string? There is basically string is the most. So one of the most reason is that string is the mostly used type in our Java programming. Okay, and then another reason is that so string supports or string having a support SCP. Okay, but in the case of SCP, what will happen? So SCP is developed for the reusability of the object. I mean multiple references are pointing to or reuse the particular object instead of creating the new object. Okay,
Yeah.
so in that case what will we will get the problem by using that approach. So suppose I have a which are from the for example, and one person came from the Mumbai and changed that Pune address. Okay, so because of one person, other people get affected. Na? So for that string, they will make the string as a immutable. And when Mumbai person came and tried to change that content, in that case, it will return an new object. So that's why that is the reason basically. So string is an immutable. Yes, ma'am.
Your pseudo
Yes,
code.
ma'am.
Let me know what error it is going to give you.
Yes. Okay. So where, ma'am?
In the
Can
chat,
you come again, ma'am?
yeah,
In the chart. Yes.
be
Yes.
sending your
Okay.
code
So where?
snippet. Just tell
Uh,
me if what will be the output. I'll just send you. Give me a couple of minutes.
yes, ma'am. So I'm not getting here. I'm a first user of the that application. So where is chat, ma'am? Basically. Mm, so can you fill that problem? So I'll
I
check
have
with
pinged you.
this.
Can you tell me what will be the output of
Okay.
this?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, yes. Okay, okay. So yes, string str. Okay, so ma'am, I'm not getting here a chat box. Where is chat box? This is a very. So can you ping that message again?
Yeah, sure.
On screen.
Shall I ping you?
Yes, yes. Then now program. You have sent the program. So that program. Can you ping that again?
Yeah, I have pinged you again.
Okay. Wait, ma'am. I'll check what will be the output here. Okay. Yes, string str is equal to null here. So string abc is there. So string abc is there. So again str null. Okay. String abc. Okay. String null. Str dot equal. So yes, ma'am. So what will happen here? So yes. So in that case, we will get a null pointer exception, ma'am, because we are calling the dot equal method on a null object. Okay, so str contains the null as a value. Okay, and
Correct.
we are calling
Very
the str dot null equal. So that is
yes.
answer. Yes,
So
yes,
how
ma'am.
to avoid this thing?
Yes, to avoid these things, we can do okay. So let me think, ma'am. So what we do here? Okay. So, ma'am, we can do to avoid that things. Instead of str, we can use the abc there, and instead of abc, we are passing the abc as an argument as a dot equal method. We can pass the null value, no problem.
Yes,
So it will
yes.
return a false. Okay.
Yes, yes, correct.
Yes.
Okay, so
Yes.
suppose now this statement is this something like abc dot equals str. What will be the
Hmm.
output of the second one? Abc dot equals a.
abc dot equals. So can you ping again the that message? I'm
Yes.
getting. Okay.
Sure, let me just ping it.
Yes. Yes. Hello, ma'am.
Yes, Samadhan.
Yes, ma'am. So message is not. Yes, yes. Message is here. Okay. str yes is string str null. Okay, no problem. Okay, no problem. Yes, ABC. Okay, so no problem. String ABC A not equals A. I have passed. Yes, ma'am. No problem. Code is fine now. No problem. Because we are calling the ABC dot equal. So on a ABC object, we are calling the dot equal method, and we are comparing that object with A. So it will return an false, ma'am, basically, because ABC is created in a heap area, SCP area, and A object is created in a heap area. Okay.
Yeah. Yes,
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 ma'am.
correct.
Yes, yes. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, that is fine.
Okay.
Okay. So, if you talk about Java 8, so can you tell me why we have introduced functional programming as part of Java 8? What are the benefits of it?
So basically, till 1.7 version, what will happen? So we require to write the lots of code. I mean, length of the code will become a large. Okay. So, like for example, ma'am. Okay, if you want to sort the data, so we require to write the comparator class. Okay, by implementing that comparator class and provide the implementation for the compare to method. Okay, and so write a logic. So instead of taking the separate class, okay, we can achieve that code, okay, we can achieve that code by using the three or two lines. Okay, we can write the concise code, or conciseness is a main feature of a Java. And I mean 1.8 version that they will provide basically. And another reason that they will provide the functional program or enable the functional programming in our Java. And basically, we can write the lambda expression. So this is a functional programming. Okay, they will provide lots of features, like they will provide the default method. Okay, then the static method, lambda expression, functional interface, stream APIs, then date and time APIs. Okay, this kind of feature they will introduce because of the to make a Java concise. Okay, make a Java
Yeah.
concise, or make a Java. We can say the performance of the Java will get increased because of
Yeah.
that. They will provide some hash map related update or enhancement. Okay, so
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
kind of feature. Yes.
Okay. So, can you tell me what is a lambda expression and what is the usage of lambda expression?
So basically, ma'am, lambda expression is used to mm, provide the. I mean, lambda expression is a one type of anonymous function, and by using that lambda expression, we have enable the functional programming in our Java, basically. And lambda expression is used to provide the implementation for the functional interface abstract method, basically. Okay, so for that, lambda expression will be there. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. Fine. Yeah, that
Mm,
is fine. And
yes.
okay, do you know how to? Have you worked on streams?
Stream. So yes, yes.
Okay. Can you tell me how to sort a particular, list based on whatever parameter? Like for example, based on you can say name in using strings in Java. Right?
Yes. Hmm. Yes. So using a string, so a list of strings we have, and we require to sort that string. Okay, that is question, na, ma'am?
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Okay. So by using the string, we can use a sorted method, and inside the sorted method, we can write some lambda expression like or sorting logic, or we can implement some comparator or comparable as per our requirement. No problem.
Okay.
So yes. Yes, ma'am. So, can I explain a line of code that how to write?
Yes. Yes. Or maybe you can type that in the chat window if
Okay, ma'am.
possible.
Okay. Yes, ma'am. Okay. Yes, yes. Okay. Yes, stream dot yes, sorted method will be there. Okay. So, ma'am, okay, sorted. open is there, then we can do EMP object. Suppose a list of str is there. Okay, then so ma'am, can I explain code directly? So typing is very my keypad is very slow. So directly I'll explain so we can do like ma'am list dot stream. So by using that stream method, we can get the stream object. Okay,
Okay.
and then we can configure that string basically by to configure that stream we can use the methods like a filter map, then sorted method. So this kind of method we can use here. So sorted method I have used stream dot sorted. Okay, inside
Okay.
that sorted I have write like okay, I have write like a lambda expression to okay. Do you want customized sorting order or default sorting order?
Yeah,
Based on
you can provide any of those. I mean, no problem.
okay, yes.
Maybe default
Yeah.
sorting order also is fine.
Okay, yes. I'll use the customized sorting order. So for the customized sorting order, we require to provide the implementation for the comparator. Okay. So
Correct.
str. Okay. In bracket, in round bracket, str, comma str to hyphen greater than. Then we can do like uh, if str. Okay. We can do like yes. Okay. str dot compare to method we can use here. Compare to of str. So it will return the ascending order. And if you want to get the descending order, then in that case, just at the starting of the str dot compare to, so minus we can attach. So it will
Yes.
return the descending order. So
Yeah.
for the string, so it will return the alphabetic order basically. Sorry, ma'am.
Yes.
Ascending, descending for the number.
Yes. Yes. That is fine. That is fine. So, have you worked on exception handling?
Yes, ma'am. Yes. Yes, I
So, do
also
you
work.
know compile time and runtime exceptions?
Yes, ma'am. So basically, compile time exception, so nothing but an exception which are checked by the compiler and compiler for the so to or for the smooth execution of the our program at runtime. So compile time exceptions are nothing but an we have file not found exceptions is there. So IO related exception are there. Then we have class not found exception will be there. Okay, this kind of a compile time exception. And runtime exceptions are nothing but an exception which are not checked by the compiler. So those exceptions are nothing but the runtime exceptions. So we have example of runtime exception. So runtime exception is a class, okay, and runtime exception having some child classes like illegal argument exception, number format exception, class cast exception, null pointer exception. So this kind of I mean runtime exceptions. So that is here. Okay. Yes,
Mhm. So, do you know how to create custom exceptions?
yes, ma'am. So yes, yes.
Can you tell me how to do that?
Okay. So to create the customized exception, so we must required to or recommended to extend the runtime exception class. Okay, and okay, provide the one parameterized constructors, parameterized constructor, and okay, and inside that parameterized constructor, call or provide a call to the superclass constructor or
Correct.
superclass parameterized constructor. So that is the process.
Yes, yes, that is fine. Okay, I'm just pinging you this bit. Can you tell me what will be returned as part of this particular, snippet of code?
Okay, yeah, okay, yes, ma'am, yes. So okay, try out of and then try is there. So exception is there. Finally, it will return an M3 basically.
See?
Because yes, three it will return. What will happen here? Try and catch block return statement will get skipped. Okay, and the return statement of finally block will get executed. Yes.
Yes, yes, correct. Now I pinged you another snippet. Now can you tell me what will happen?
Okay, so ma'am, when we entered into a, okay,
I
so
have a system.exit as part of try block.
yes, ma'am, yes, yes, I know, yes, ma'am. Mm, okay, system not exist. Okay. So, ma'am, so there is one mistake, I think. System dot exist can have one status. Uh, I mean, system
Actually,
dot exist.
system.exit basically terminates your program.
Yes, yes, I know that, but it has one argument, na. So, exit method.
Yeah, you can provide exit as zero. System.exit zero.
Okay, yes, okay, thank you.
That
So, in that case, what will
equals to
happen? Okay, when we entered into the try block, so try will get printed and our JVM will get terminated because by using the system.exit method, the JVM will get terminated, ma'am, or shut down.
yes, correct.
Yes,
Fine.
yes, ma'am.
That's good. So, do you know?
Yes, ma'am. So you are breaking, ma'am. Your voice is breaking. Hello, ma'am.
Hello.
No. Yes, ma'am. Now you are audible. Hello.
Yes, is it audible now?
Yes, now is audible. Audible.
Okay. So, can you tell me what are the different types of class loaders in Java?
So okay.
And what is
So
the
basically,
role of a class loader?
okay. So there are three class loader in a Java, so which are part of the class loader subsystem. So basically, Bootstrap class loader is there. So this is a native class loader which is developed in C or C++ or native languages. And then we have another class loader like a extension class loader and application class loader. This class loader will be there, okay, to load the .class file from the particular location.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you also know the delegation principle?
Yes, ma'am. So basically, delegation principle means okay. So whenever we perform suppose if you perform one command like a Java and then class name, okay. In that case, what will happen? JVM will search that dot class file in a method area. Okay, first activity will be there, and then after that, if the particular dot class file is available in a method area, it will use that dot class file. Okay, it will not load the dot class file, but that dot class
Yes.
file is not available, then in that case it will provide the request to the class loader subsystem, and then class loader subsystem send that request to the application class loader, and in that case delegation hierarchy algorithm will be there, so that
Yeah.
application class loader delegate that request to the extension, and extension delegate that request to the bootstrap. I mean, first priority will get by the bootstrap class loader, and so this is a and to the load the particular dot class file. If the particular dot class file is not available in at a bootstrap class path, so again it will delegate that request to the extension, again it will delegate that request to the application. So that is the
Yes.
hierarchy here, that they will use the delegate hierarchy. Okay, yes,
Yes, correct. Good.
sir.
Yeah.
Thank
So,
you.
apart from this, shall I ask you a few questions from Spring as well, if you are good with that?
Yes, ma'am. So Spring Boot, you can ask from database. You can ask MongoDB also. You can ask.
Okay, that's great. So, what is the difference between? I mean, why we are going towards, okay. Have you also heard about microservice based architecture?
No, so I'm not working on. I'm
You
not
know,
studying on microservices.
yeah.
RESTful web services I have used or I have created there,
Okay.
not in my.
Okay, that's fine. So, fine. So, in RESTful web services, like we have path param and query param. Can you tell me the basic difference between the two?
So basically, param is a I mean parameter level annotation we can say, and this is used to extract the information from the path URI. Okay, And a query param annotation, it is also parameter level annotation, and which is used to extract the information from the query param or query parameter. Okay, or we can say the string parameter. We are, whatever data we have sent as a part of URL, so URL string. So this data we can extract by using that at the rate query param annotation.
Yes, yes, correct. Fine.
Yes.
So okay, that is fine. Okay. Have you used like if you are creating a RESTful web services, you must have used gone through @REST controller and things like that. So can you tell me
Yes.
what is the difference between @REST controller and controller?
So basically, at the rate controller annotation and at the rate rest controller annotation, these are a stereotype annotation, we can say. And so difference is like at the rate rest controller annotation, it is a combination of two annotation. One is a response body and another is a at the rate controller annotation. But it and at the rate controller annotation is used to mark the class as a controller class, which is handle the HTTP requests, okay, incoming requests, and it will send that. So for that, so basically, in the case of MVC based project, if you want to create or by using the at the rate controller, if you want to create or develop the RESTful web services, and in that case, we require to use at the rate response body on every APIs. Okay, on every on top of every APIs under the that at the rate controller class. Okay, first difference. And in the case of the at the rate REST controller, we are not required to provide the at the rate response body annotation because it is a combination. At the rate REST controller is a combination of a response body and at the rate controller annotation. Then another difference is key difference is that when we use the at the rate controller on the top of a class, in that case, whatever APIs are present inside that class, those are always returns the view name, but not an object. But in the case of REST, at the rate REST controller, whatever method or APIs we have write inside the REST class, so always return the object instead of view. Okay. So basically, at the rate controller annotation is a old one, but at the rate REST controller annotation is an I don't have any. Okay, Spring 4 version it will came. I think so. Yes, yes, ma'am. Yes. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, that is fine. And apart from this, do you know like usually in controllers you have a return type. You usually return the response entity as part of it, or anything that you want to
Ye-
be visible to the UI. Suppose I'm returning a customized object. For example, like I have an application that is for an organization and it has data for employees. So suppose
Yes.
I'm returning response entity of list of employees. It's a kind of a get
Okay.
employee API. So
Hmm.
you are returning a Pojo over there, right? A bean that has basically employee details and everything. So do you know when you return it from here, how come your client gets to see it in JSON format?
So, ma'am, I doesn't get that question. So, can you repeat once again? So,
Yeah,
in
sure. Yeah.
yes,
So suppose I have a control, I have a endpoint inside a
endpoint.
controller which actually returns list of employees.
Yes, okay. Hmm.
So you are returning a list of employee, but if you see on the client, so suppose you are using Postman or Swagger, whatever you are using, and hitting that get API, you are getting a response from the server that you can
Yes,
see into JSON format, right?
yes, ma'am.
So how that entire conversion thing is happening inside Spring Boot? Do you know that?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, yes, yes. So basically, so for that, we can use I mean, at the rate produce annotation or produce is equal to application or JSON. So it will return the data in a JSON form. So when we make a request on Postman, okay, so process is that when we make a request on a Postman, so that request in that request we will attach endpoint, okay, so that method will get resolved, ma'am, and particular endpoint method will get resolved, and or based on that at the rate get request at the rate request mapping, and inside that we are performing some method and get something like that we can do there. uh, Okay, so based on that, that particular request will get resolved by the REST controller, and request will get fulfilled and return the response. Okay, return the response as per the client want. Okay, like a client want in a JSON form. So at the time of sending the request, at the time of, so API need to write the produce annotation or produce as an attribute of a particular get mapping annotation, and inside that we can write the application slash JSON. And if you want to send the data or produce the data based on XML form, you can use like application slash XML. Okay, if you want any format, you can do. Okay, as per you. But okay, so that is a process, I think, if it is correct.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Apart from this, like we also have at the rate or enable auto configuration. It
Yes.
actually does your, whatever beans you have. So it internally has object mapper jars which convert your beans format to a, you can say, JSON or XML, whatever you want. So you,
Mm-hmm.
it actually is done taken care by at the rate enable auto configuration annotation. So as soon as you use it, all the things that you have on your class path actually gets configured automatically, and this mapper is also a part of it.
Okay.
Maybe you can go through that once and revisit it. That's
Okay. Okay.
that's fine. Yeah. So and suppose I have a particular interface and I have multiple implementations of it, multiple services actually of it, and during the injection into a particular, suppose I want to inject it into a controller,
Mhm.
that particular service, a particular implementation of service. So
Okay.
how to do that?
So basically, you have one service interface, and so which having a multiple implementation. Okay, na ma'am. Okay.
Yes.
So in that case, if you are trying to inject the particular, okay, in that case we will get an ambiguity, ma'am. Okay, because internally at the rate AutoWire annotation uses a byte type. Okay, okay. So based on the byte type, we have 4 or 5 implementation classes. In that case, container or our container will get confused which object or which bin we require to inject. Okay, in that case, to resolve that ambiguity, there are two ways. Okay, basically, one is you can use @qualifier annotation, and in that @qualifier annotation, specify the particular implementation class ID or the name. No problem. But another way is that so we can change the behavior of the @attowire annotation. That is, we can change the set the by name as a mode of the @attowire annotation, and on which class you want to use. So that on top of that class we can provide service annotation, and inside that service annotation provide one name. That
Yeah.
name and that particular interface reference name must be same. If there is match or type and name match, so this will get injected. So that is second way. I don't know it is working or not. So
Yeah, that's
that
that's okay. So, fine. I would just like to ask one thing from you. So, suppose as soon as, like, for example, you start your, Spring Boot application, there is
mm,
a lot of, bean creation that helps, and there is a container into which beans get created. So, do you know the life cycle of uh, s- this entire thing, the bean creation and everything, life cycle of a bean?
yeah, so basically, I don't have that much knowledge about lights as well, but I have used two methods. One is a after property set method I have used. So this is executed at the time of initializing the bean particular, and,
Okay.
uh, and which is present in the initial bean something interface is there, and we require to implement
Initializing it, yeah.
initialize bean something that I don't recall that name. And then second is that disposal bin is there. That is the interface. If you implement that interface, we have in that interface there is one. I mean, destroy method is there.
Yes.
Okay. So that destroy method we require to implement. So whenever you want to, I mean, if you want to perform some activity at the time of initialization, okay, and so that to be useful in the rest of execution of particular bin. In that case, we should go for the init method. Or if you want to write the custom method, custom init method, so we can specify that particular bin tag inside that bin as a default method or I mean init method is equal to method name inside
Yes.
as our okay, and init destroy method or destroy method something like that we can do, and
Yes.
we can perform the at the destruction or at the time of the initializing bin some activities, no problem.
Yes, yeah, that is fine. So, another just the last one. Have you created some custom annotations?
No, ma'am, I'm not creating any custom annotation.
Okay, okay, no problem. I think that's it from my end. I really liked having a conversation with you, and with your level of experience, you really have a very, good exposure to the technology, and your core concepts are really strong. Let me know
Thank
if I can help you in some way. And thanks a lot for all your time. And yeah, thanks. Anything else from your side, Samadhan?
No, ma'am. So basically, I want to ask you. So my English problem is a big problem, basically. So I can't talk fluent English. So any suggestion for that?
Yeah, I would just like to suggest you, yeah, that your English is fine, but if you are little more fluent, that will create a better, impression on people who are actually talking to you, and definitely will have good impression on the interviewers as well. So I would just like to suggest you to actually read newspaper, English newspaper and novels every day. And if possible,
Okay.
you can, have some kind of, there is an app that I know. I'll just share it with you offline. So there you have like multiple things that you can actually, it will show you some text, some paragraph, and you read it throughout. And after that, it will actually tell you, okay, this much was your score in your oral communication. So using that every day for around 5 to 10 minutes, you can spare on it and improve a little bit on your vocal skills. So every time you will, read that out, that app will tell you, okay, this was your score, so you can track, okay, if you are improving. And apart from that, definitely you can watch some English movies in your spare time. And if you have some friends who have good communication skills, just try to talk to them in English, so you will improve yourself definitely. But you are not that bad, you're fine, but yes, there is definitely a scope of improvement.
Okay, okay, ma'am. Okay.
Yeah,
So,
I'll
ma'am,
just share that with you.
yes, ma'am. I am your fan basically, ma'am, because I am watching every video, okay, every interview video of yours. Okay,
Okay,
that
okay.
Java
That's
Tech
really
is
cool.
channel.
Okay. Thank you so much for all your appreciation and support.
Yes, yes. So, thank you, ma'am, taking my interview.
Thanks. Thanks a lot, Samadhan. Okay, bye bye. See you later.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, thank you.
Take care.